Wow.
Great.
Haha.
Hey,
Yeah.
that wasn't bad at all. That was
No,
quite easy on my ears, I must say.
that was
So that's
nice.
pretty good. Yes. Yeah.
It's cool because what I like about hearing the intro at the beginning is it sometimes when I go to do these I'm like, wait, what are we doing again? And then when as soon as I hear the intro I'm like, oh yeah, okay,
Right.
that's what we're doing.
Yeah, it sure does set it up, make it, makes it everything like, yeah, get your game face on, mofo, because
Yeah.
it's coming at you.
Yeah, it's coming like it or not. Here she comes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah. I think every great show needs a good theme song. Don't mind me saying, I think our show is pretty great. I polled everybody in my house, and they all agreed with me. Considering I just have my wife and my kid, they all agreed that our show is great.
I'd
So
say their word
yeah,
is gold.
I'd say take that, critics. Take that, New York Times, who reviewed our show and said,
Yeah.
"I don't know who these guys are." Take that.
Wait, you just disappeared. I can't hear you.
Oh no, sorry. Yeah, I
Oh,
just I just muted
oh,
myself
my
because
bad.
like I had an ambulance go by. I just didn't want it
Oh
to.
no, it's smart.
Yeah.
I need to learn not to always freak out when yours goes mute. I'm like a dog who thinks
Yeah,
he'll never eat again.
I gotta
It's like
leave the radio on or something when I
I
mute
know.
myself.
Yeah. It's like my dog brain can't understand what it means and I freak out. I'm like, he's gone. He's gone. It's only me.
It's all over.
It's
It's
over.
all over.
There's no point anymore. I'm alone. And then you pop in, you're like, oh no, it's okay. Hey, you know what? It's okay, buddy.
It's
Just
like,
had to go to work.
yeah, it's like, and they're like, oh, everything was great again.
Yeah, so let's see. Yeah, Karan and I just worked through a couple of technical things. It was
Yeah,
interesting.
yes, yeah, always fun to do that. That's why many professional shows have producers, and it's for
And
that exact reason.
ones that have budgets, yeah,
The ones that have
big
budgets, yeah,
budgets.
big budgets, yeah. Producers don't come free, neither should they, because
Nope.
like when it's crunch time, and you don't know what's going on, it's very good to have someone who knows what they're doing. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, well, and even when you do, the truth is those technical issues still pop up sometimes. But one way or another, we figured it out.
yeah.
So I guess I would start by just asking, like, how's your week been, or like, what kind of week have you had? You know, how's it going? How do you feel? How did the last week go for you?
It's nice. I mean, it's summer in Canada, and I'm sure you know this from being on the East Coast, but like when you live in a place which has seasons, unlike Los Angeles, which I love, but if when you have seasons and when it starts to get warm, everyone is just in a great mood, and yeah, it's really nice.
That's
You
nice.
get to smell barbecue outside, which I love personally. I love barbecue.
Yeah, me too.
So yeah, when all that's there, you definitely get it's definitely pretty nice, and yeah, everyone is in a really good mood. And it's Friday, so hey, it's gonna get
Yeah,
better from here.
it's good to hear people are in good spirits.
For
They're
sure.
welcoming in the spirit of springtime in
Springtime. Yeah,
good spirits.
yeah. The breweries are full. There's people sitting outside drinking. I always like seeing that. Like there are definitely people. There's a community group out here. When I go online, they're like, why are there people drinking outside? I'm like, what the
Really?
hell's your problem? Like,
Wait a minute.
let them do whatever they
Wait a
want. Like,
minute. Why
what are
why
you complaining about?
why would that be a problem
Why
for
would that
someone
be a problem? Yeah,
drinking?
it's not like they're like throwing beer on kids at the park or something. They're like sitting inside a
Yeah.
designated drinking zone outside with the sun and just drinking. It's fine.
I mean, I feel like the same people who complained about that are these school marms who probably complained about the author of Harry Potter being in town.
Yeah, Yeah, yeah,
Just
really.
looking for something to complain about,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Jeez.
I think as you get older, when you're young, you're passionate. You're like every cause deserves recognition. But I think as you grow older, you're like some causes don't need don't need to be don't need to be recognized or given
Yeah.
any kind of attention because they're pointless. And
Yeah, and you can only spread yourself so thin, and you
yeah,
have
of
to
course.
kind of choose the causes that matter the most to you.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes,
in my
exactly.
case, I've chosen none, which makes me a bad person. No, I'm just kidding. I haven't chosen none. I have chosen causes. I just think causes come in so many different forms,
Right.
and
Yeah.
we all have our own ways of sort of battling the demons of the universe.
Yeah.
And I guess I'm trying to find mine just like everyone else. But it's like I talked to my sister not too long ago and was like,
Hmm.
she was going on about how just the conspiracies within politics, and you
Oh
can't
God.
trust any
Yeah.
of them, and it
Oh
doesn't
yeah.
matter, doesn't even matter who you vote for. You got some of these people who are like, I don't vote, because it
Right.
doesn't
Right. Right.
matter, so I
Yeah.
throw it in the garbage. That's what I like to do.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a little depressing for me to
Yeah.
totally embrace that view. It's like, oh, okay, so the 1% of power I did have, that's gone too. Now I'm down to zero. Nice, 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 nice.
Nice. Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
It's
Eh,
like a warm jacuzzi of failure seeping into my pores with delight. But yeah,
Apathy. I love it.
a sweet apathy. Because what do you fill that void with once you reach the apathy?
True.
What are you carrying on for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
mean,
I love that. I just heard a train on your
yeah, I'm
end.
sorry.
No,
This
don't
is
be
why
sorry.
I have my finger on the mute button like a cowboy with his gun, just because you never know what's gonna turn up. Like seriously,
John Wayne over here.
yeah, all right, Pilgrim, time to mute that button.
No, no, but you know what? Please don't ever mute that train. That's like the highlight of my day when I get to hear your train.
Yeah, when I used to get on like work calls, people would hear trains, they would hear like fire engines. Sometimes like they
Probably
would hear
worry about
like
you at a certain point.
yeah.
Is Karan all right?
They would hear stories from me about how I had to like I was delayed on the way back from the store because of a goddamn bear just ran across the street.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I've been on my way back from the store like driving and like a bear just like decides like he's gonna cross the street, totally jaywalking,
So
given the
I'm gonna put
situation.
it when I do the description for this episode. I'm gonna put hashtag Canadian life,
Yeah, yeah,
hashtag Canada man.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Is
We
that what
got that
it's?
here. We
So
got
you
bears
just
here.
you just have these? Are they black bears or brown
Black bears.
bears?
They're mostly black bears that we see around
Yeah.
here. I think if you go further north, you might see some more brown bears, and I think even grizzlies if you go towards like Alberta and stuff. But yeah, we have a lot of black bears around here. Yeah, I live by a park, and it's pretty nice. Like now that my Zoe's exploring, like I go on walks with her, and we sometimes go off the trail just to like look at stuff. And sometimes I'll see bear scat,
How
and
do
I'll
you
be
know
like,
it's bear scat?
it looks you can, like
It's huge.
yeah, when I was you'll see it's kind of like hard to describe, but yeah, it's you can
Does
kind
it
of
look like
tell.
it has a lot of berries in it?
Yeah, yeah, it does. It's too big to be a coyote, which is the only other thing we have here. And like
Yeah.
it's yeah, when I was in upstate New York, I would see a lot of it, and a lot of my friends out there would be like, "Yeah, that's bear scat. Yeah, watch out,
Wow.
bud."
Did they can like identify how old the poop is
Most likely.
just by like putting their finger in the air and feeling the wind.
That bear's been there for years.
That bear is 93 years old. You're like, bears live to 93, and they're like, in upstate New York they do.
Yeah, they do. If
Only here.
yeah, that must be
Oneonta.
yeah, Oneonta. It must be some kind of crazy American bear.
something in the water in Oneonta.
Just
Maybe
like,
do the people live really long in
I don't
Oneonta? Do
know.
you think?
It's a good question. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's a good
Yeah.
question, but
The
definitely there is.
the I think the place with they did a census where they look at where do people live the longest on
Mm,
earth.
mm.
They looked at some places statistically, and one of them was a place right near me. Well, it's about an hour or maybe 45 minutes east of me. It's an area called Loma Linda.
Oh, no way.
Loma
Mm.
Linda, Southern California.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's actually my parents at one time lived there because my dad went to school there apparently.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I've been there a couple times, but Loma Linda is there's a ton, and I mean a ton of Seventh-day Adventists there.
Okay.
And in case anyone listening to this has missed this in our show, I don't know if I've said it before, but I was raised a Seventh-day
I think you
Adventist.
told us that before. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That was the religion I was raised in. And so my parents were both SDA, and
That's SDA. Cool.
yeah, there's a huge population of them, the density of Adventists there in Loma Linda and
Okay.
in Southern California in general, but especially Loma Linda. And like, you know what Adventists do? They start a lot of hospitals, and they're doctors and nurses. They work in the medical field because part of their religion teaches them that it's like a calling that's like pure, because you're helping people. It's not like you're, working on Wall Street trying to scam
Right.
somebody out of their money. Or you're not
That's a
about.
that's a nice rule to have in a religion, I'd say. That's pretty nice.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it's definitely logical. I mean, I,
Helping.
I think probably where it falls a little short is that at the end of the day, because I've known tons of Seventh-day Adventists, having
Hmm.
been one,
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, like they're not all in it just to help people. I mean, they're like anyone else who
They're
is
people at the end of the
they're
day,
people
kind
they're
of.
people
Right.
yeah, and they live in this same society that we do, where it's capitalism, so they
Right.
have to
Yeah.
survive. They have to, they're probably a little bit family oriented as well, so they want to be able to buy a home and have a family and provide
Sure.
for them. And I know that when my mom was sort of thinking about, in her for her first, like, marriage, like to my dad,
Hmm.
she was like, oh, that makes it sound like she's been married 9 times. My mom's not like, Jack Nicholson. She's not been married a bunch of times. She's only been married a couple times. But anyway, um, hi, Mom. Hope you're listening.
Your mom
Um,
is about as far from Jack Nicholson as you
yeah,
can get.
that's so 100% reality. Yeah. But anyway, when she married my dad, she kind of wanted a guy who, could provide for a family because she
Right.
was from this kind of conservative Seventh-day Adventist background. She wanted, um, I'm not saying she was a gold digger. I'm just saying she was like, she was like looking for, she wanted to love the guy but she wanted him to be able to provide so that she could
Right.
be a mom and raise a family. I mean, there are some people who they just dream of being a mom or a dad.
Yeah, perfectly natural thing, by the way.
It's
Like, there's
totally
nothing
normal.
wrong with that at all. Like,
Not at all. No,
not
there's
at all.
nothing wrong with it at all. I mean, obviously nothing wrong with the opposite of it either. But
Right.
it's again, bringing everyone to the middle so that we can
Yeah, yeah. Let's
be
walk the middle path right
allow,
here.
yeah, multiple ways of life to exist is
Yeah.
okay. But yeah, my mom wanted to, what's right for you or for them, it doesn't have to be right for you or for me, and we can both do those things if we're not hurting each other. So
Right.
yeah, religion falls victim to that human flaw of the fear and insecurity and desire to project your beliefs onto everyone else and force them to agree and to think the same things as you. That's definitely a pitfall of religion.
Yeah.
And I've seen a few members of the religion I was raised in do that for sure. Some of them
Hmm.
in my family.
Yeah.
But my mom, for one, has never really been that way. But anyway, to finish the thought, I guess she married my dad because it's like, this guy can provide for me. My dad was a doctor. And so and I had a good childhood, all the way up until I pieced out and went to college and those things. But and it's never been as plushy since. That's for damn sure. But I had it then, and it was nice in that way. Anyway, I'm mumbling and rambling, but SDA. So Loma Linda in Southern California, it's a high density of Seventh-day Adventists, and a lot of them are nurses and doctors. A lot of them work in the medical field. And I was talking about the statistic for where people live the longest. Loma Linda, where all the Seventh-day Adventists are, is top. It's in the very top. It's up towards the very top of spots on this earth where people live the longest.
Okay. That's
Yeah,
interesting. I
and
didn't
and
know
hold and hold records for length of life.
that. Nice.
And in this world today, we're like, do I want that? No. Is that a good thing? No. But Loma Linda is a hot spot for that. And a big part of that is because Seventh-day Adventists are super into health. The body is the temple of God, and, don't eat unclean things. And they follow the same rules for what meats are considered clean versus unclean as the Jews, as Jewish people.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're not Jewish, they're Christian. People really have a tough time understanding that. It's not that hard to understand, actually. It's pretty simple. They are Christian, but they happen to follow that one law in the book of Leviticus that the Jews also follow as far as unclean meats. They don't eat pork.
Which is actually even Muslims follow that too. It's they don't like pork. They don't eat pork because it's considered unclean. So surprise, surprise. Surprising similarities for religions that are usually at each other all the time.
At each other's throats. Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, it was always funny because I would tell people that and they'd be like, "Oh, so you're Jewish?" And I'd be like, "No, I'm not. I'm Christian." And they'd be like, "No, you must be Jewish because you don't eat pork." And I was like, "Well, that's one of those things is true. I don't eat pork, but I'm not Jewish.
You don't eat pork.
Believe it or
ergo
not,
you're Jewish.
you can be both. You can be a non-pork eater and a non-Jew.
Yeah.
It's possible." So that was tough for them to wrap their head around that. Yeah,
it
confusing
happens.
for them.
I guess so. Yeah, it's like your kind of brain isn't wired to accept that just yet.
Just yet.
Just yet. But,
Maybe someday.
Hey, maybe someday. You're asking questions. That's the important thing.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a start.
start. Yeah.
Oh man! And then once,
busy.
but then once I tell them Seventh-day Adventists also worship on a Saturday, then they really
Then
couldn't.
they're like,
It's
okay.
all over. Game
All right.
over.
All right.
Yeah, you're Jewish.
It's
End
like,
of story.
You're not helping your case.
There's only one kind of Christian, and that's Catholics. No, there's about 90 more. Mormons, everything.
It's always so funny to me that the whole Protestant thing happened because Henry VIII was like, "Listen, bro, I want to marry this other chick." It's like the Pope is like, "You can't do that." It's like Henry VIII is like, "What? What do
That's
you mean I
crazy.
can't do it?"
Wait, so
I
was
really
that
want to.
was that like what? Actually, can you explain that to me? Because I know there's the side of it that's sort of, they talk about who's the guy who started the Protestant
Yeah.
church, or I forget his name. Was it John something? I feel like they're all
Yeah,
John.
I don't want to talk about this too much because I don't want to like say something false about
Me too.
someone's faith. But
Same
at
here.
least I will say it like this. At least in popular culture, which is where I get a lot of my information from, the whole fracture between like the Church of England, which came about, versus the Vatican, was because Henry VIII wanted to like divorce his wife and marry somebody else, and the Pope said no. And Henry VIII was like, "Okay, watch me. I'm going to make my own religion with blackjack and hookers." Just kidding.
Las
But
Vegas religion.
yeah. But there is like seems like there's this kind of like antagonism between like Protestant and Christian and and Catholicism. Again, popular culture. But I remember there's that scene in Gangs of New York where like Bill the Butcher says like when the Irish are coming over to America and he's against it because he's like we don't need any more immigrants. He's like um,
Oh
one of
yeah.
his biggest complaints against them
He
is that
hated the
they're
Irish.
yeah is that they'll always listen to what the Pope says. They'll never listen to you or me as
Oh
Americans. They'll
yeah, you're
listen to the Pope
right.
over everyone else. He's like,
You're
yeah,
right.
they'll do what their man says. Him in the pointy
Catholic.
hat or something. I forget the line, but
Oh yeah,
yeah,
Catholics, because they're
Catholic.
all Catholic, and Bill the Butcher is a
Yeah.
Protestant.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And I mean, he has a lot of gripes against them coming over, but that's one of them. And I was just like, oh, I guess like, which is true. Like a lot of America in the beginning was rebellion, right? It was like, we don't want people to tell us what to do. This is a new land. This is a new country. We don't want the King of England telling us what to do.
I
We
mean,
don't
to be
want the
America is
Roman Pope
still
to do
that
what to do.
way. A
America
hundred,
is still
like
that
it
way.
hasn't changed one single bit. By the way, there's no difference.
It's so true because there was like recently some tiff between the Pope and like Donald Trump, and people were so surprised about it. And now when I think about it like this, I'm like, yeah, you're right. Like it's always been that way in
Oh my
America. It's like,
God, yeah.
yeah,
Good luck telling an American what to do. You'll get your napkin stuffed down your throat. Dude, I was on a bus with my wife when we were on our honeymoon and we were in Munich. We were on
right,
this bus, Munich, Germany,
yeah,
München, and dude, we were on this bus, and this big fat like Texas American dude, he literally was wearing like a cowboy hat, and he had his wife next to him, and they were like 60 years old probably.
yeah,
And this dude, everybody on the bus was wearing a mask. This was in the height of COVID, dude. This was like our honeymoon. We went to Europe. I bet you those flight tickets were cheap. They must have been
yeah,
cheap as
yeah,
shit.
yes, for sure,
Yeah, I mean, actually, it was freaking amazing our timing when we went because Europe and everything was just starting to sort of open back up, and there was a lot of excitement and activity. And but people were still wearing masks in a lot of public places, and I think especially in Europe, there's more of a follow the rules mentality for sure than America. And guess what? As it turns out, there are actually some beautiful things about following the rules. For example, you notice that when you're in Germany, people actually do what the stoplights and the little the little man who lights
right,
up white and tells you it's okay to cross the street, they follow that shit.
yeah,
And if you violate it or you're like, screw it, I don't care, I'll jaywalk, like Americans do all the time, a German will yell at you. Like someone will police you. They're literally like self-policing.
you're
It's
right,
crazy.
yeah,
But it's kind of nice because man, their shit just functions tight. Like it
right,
just
yeah,
everything's on time. Trains are on time. Anyway, so we're on this bus in Germany and everybody's wearing a mask because we're all crowded on this tight, sweaty, smelly bus and we're all smushed together. The bus was at capacity. You could easily get sick. I
yeah,
mean, let alone COVID, just sick in general. I mean, it was but especially with COVID. So everybody's got the masks on. This big Texan dude, he literally had like cowboy boots and a cowboy hat on type thing, denim shirt or whatever, with his wife there. And he was like, him and his wife, they weren't wearing a mask. And I suddenly overhear this German guy, this redheaded, like angry German. Why are redheads always mad? But this redheaded German guy, he started kind of like chewing them out in German. Like he didn't speak for whatever reason, he did not speak one word of English in his diatribe. Like it was all in German. And it sounded like one of those World War II movies where the scary German guy is like yelling in German at somebody and you're like, Jesus Christ, guy's shooting bullets out of his mouth. What it sounds like. But so the guy's like he chews them out basically, and I understand enough German that I knew what he was saying. He was complaining that they wouldn't wear their fucking mask.
right, yeah,
And
valid
so
point.
he was kind of like, kein Mask, kind mask, which means no mask.
Yeah,
He was like mocking it, like kind mask, freaking idiots or whatever.
right.
Americans, they just never will follow the rules. It has to be, have to be a rebel. It was something like that. And so the Texas guy starts to get mad at him, and he's like, "You want me to wear a mask?" He's like, "I don't have to wear a mask. I don't have to do what you say." Something like that. And his wife was sort of like giggled a little bit. I don't know, giggling at the German guy being mad. And then that made the German guy madder. And German guy started yelling at this this Texas guy. And Zashi and I just watched the whole thing. And then the Texas guy called him a Nazi.
Oh my God.
Yeah. He went there.
Oh,
And
geez.
he was like, I don't have to listen to you, friggin' Nazi. And then, man, that sent that German guy right over the top. And,
I would imagine.
and honestly, it was borderline scary. It was slightly disturbing being in the presence of such a dispute. I mean, the German guy was right. Like, it was so stupid. Like,
Right.
dude, you're not in your country. Welcome to Germany. You follow the rules here.
Right.
And by the way, this Texas dude, probably the same type of Trumper thumper who over here in America will be like, "Oh, immigrants, they don't follow our rules, our customs. They don't know how to drive. They don't
Right.
they don't want to assimilate." And it's like, yeah, look at yourself, you hypocrite. You don't want to assimilate. You're in another country.
Oh,
So
my
annoying.
God. Yeah, those are the kind of tourists that give America a bad name abroad, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because they're really pompous and they
Just
they,
full
they
of themselves, man.
yeah, they piggyback off the glory of World War II of that America
Yeah.
harvested for itself. Yeah, so they're like,
go slinging insults around at
yeah,
people from other countries. Ah, you Nazi! It's
half,
like
half
what makes you?
ignorant
Yeah,
about stuff.
what makes you think that your country, America, is this perfect shining star that's never done anything wrong? You ever hear of slavery? Okay, I mean
Yeah,
that went on for a long time, and there was some. If you read about it, there were a lot of atrocities. So if you're gonna point the finger at some German guy, call him a Nazi. There's some fingers pointing back at you too.
yeah.
Your country is not perfect. No country is perfect.
No country is perfect. Yeah, that's the thing nowadays. It's you shouldn't be let's all follow what Jesus says and not throw he who cast the first stone. Like, let's all follow that a little bit.
Yeah, he who rips off the first mask.
Pretty much. I love stories about Texas and Florida, guys. Those are the most entertaining of all
That's for
because they're
sure.
just so over the top.
Oh yeah.
I remember reading an article online about how this Texas guy was living in France, working abroad or something, and his kid was going to be born in France or something, and he imported soil from Texas and put it in the hospital delivery room so that his kid would be born on Texas soil.
Oh my God.
Something like that. It sounds like this. This
That's
is one of those stories
amazing.
that it could be a total like parody story that eventually people started to believe.
But it
But
also might be real.
it also might
Could
be
totally
real.
be real too.
It also might be real. Yeah. That and then yeah, you hear a lot of stories about people from Florida doing all kinds of things. It's
Oh
just
yeah, Florida's always in the press. There's always somebody up to something in Florida. Whether it's lighting off a bottle rocket in a shopping mall or rolling in peanut butter and dancing naked on the freeway. You never know.
yeah.
Just freaking releasing 1,000 parrots into a church. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
know.
I remember when there was that whole thing with remember bath salts and people were
I
doing bath
do
salts
remember
and
that,
doing weird
oddly.
things. There were a lot of
Yep.
stories coming out of Florida of people like almost acting like zombies when they were on bath salts. I was like, I think that
Yeah.
was the closest we ever came to like a zombie apocalypse. And
Yeah.
also, of course, like it was also when The Walking Dead was huge, so a lot of people were like, getting into it. But yeah, it was pretty wild.
Yeah. I mean, I guess at least we're past the bath salts. in our
Yeah,
world
thank
today.
God.
We
Thank
got
God.
that chapter is behind us.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It sounds nice, by the way. Bath salts, aren't they? Don't you like put them in the bath to
Yeah,
relax or something?
yeah, exactly. I don't know who decided to smoke them
People
on.
will smoke anything, right?
People will
Tree
smoke.
bark.
I mean, that's probably how they figured stuff out back in the day. But
Yeah,
with the internet, you don't really need to do that anymore. You can,
yeah.
you
That's
know.
a hell of a way to figure stuff out. I wish there would be an influencer today who was like, I'm going back to the original way of figuring things out. I'm gonna
Try it,
just try stuff.
try it and test it. Yeah, like see what
Uh,
happens if I eat a bee. Like, what's gonna happen? Ouch. Well, anyway, yeah,
yeah. So yeah, it was nice to hear about your week, Current. It sounds like the sun is shining, people are getting outside, they're
yeah,
drinking beers, they're celebrating, they're complaining about people who drink beer, they're doing it all.
yeah.
And
It's
it
all
sounds
happening.
Vancouver is buzzing like a
Yeah.
beehive. Speaking of bees, so that's nice to hear. Spring is sprung. Yeah, I felt kind of happy lately. I don't know why. That's my update. I'm glad that I'm happy that I feel happy, but I'm also mildly concerned because I don't know
What?
why. I feel like the anvil's about to drop, but I don't. You don't know. I don't know where to look for it, and I just know I feel good, and
Right.
I'm sort of, I'm cherishing it. I'm relishing it, but I don't know how long it'll last, and I'm trying not to ruin it, but self-sabotage it by thinking about or worrying about how long it will last, or
Right.
overanalyzing what the source of it is. But I do wish I knew the source of it, but I don't completely understand why I feel good these last week or two. I mean, I did go on a weekend trip this last weekend to Idlewild.
Oh, where is
Um,
that?
it's down near Palm Springs, so like Karan,
Oh,
where
okay.
you and I went for
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
our little getaway before my wedding.
Yep.
That was Joshua Tree, which is we were only like 20 minutes north of Palm Springs. You and I
Right.
went into Palm Springs. I
Yep.
got a date shake. I think did you get a
Oh yeah,
date
I
shake?
remember those date shakes. They were pretty epic.
They're good.
Yeah,
They're
they're
so
good.
good. I love that. You got one, right?
Yeah, I did. I had to try it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not big on sweets, but when you're when you're over there,
Yeah.
like
When in
Palm
Rome.
Springs, yeah, you just want to,
Yeah.
you gotta try that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they grow dates out there, right? Like that's
Oh
why it's so
yeah.
popular.
Big time.
Okay,
They do big
yeah,
time. Yeah. They grow a
and
lot
that's
of
where
dates.
Coachella is for anybody
It
who
is.
doesn't know. Yeah.
Good reference. That's right. And I sort of foolishly planned our getaway there around the time of Coachella. I don't
Nice.
know. That's just how things lined up, but it
Pick up a
definitely,
newspaper, buddy.
yeah, take your head out of the dust. I mean, it definitely made things more expensive.
Yeah.
We had a freaking great time though, if I do
Nice.
say so myself.
Yeah.
I mean, you and me when we went to Palm Springs, we had
That
a
was.
great time, even
Mm.
though Coachella was going. You know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I remember seeing a lot of funky dressed people walking around Palm Springs.
Yeah.
I was enjoying it, but yeah, it was just a great vibe, and yeah, Matt and me, we were like, we found this really great Airbnb that was kind of like in a secluded spot, like
The Crystal
desert around
Cabin.
it. Yeah, we were
Yeah.
at night. We were just chilling and talking. And remember when we heard those coyotes?
That
That
was
was
so cool.
It was so cool, but it was so spooky because yeah,
It
they
was
sometimes don't sound
crazy.
human.
I know.
This is what makes me like
Well, they're
first
not
I
human,
yeah.
but I do know what you mean though.
Yeah, yeah,
They
yeah.
usually don't sound human. It would be weirder if they sounded human,
That's right. Yeah, that would be weirdo.
but I know exactly what you mean. They sounded like otherworldly. Yeah, I know what
Yeah,
you mean.
and I love mythological stuff and like legends and supernatural tales and I know a lot about that. There's a lot of stories about skinwalkers and stuff in like Arizona, New Mexico, maybe parts of
Oh my God,
California too.
skinwalkers? What the fuck is a skinwalker? That sounds terrifying.
It is super terrifying,
What
but
is
like,
that?
it's something that originated with like Navajo culture. It was like people. It was like they. I don't really know how they defined it, but it's essentially someone who was basically like somebody who's almost like a shapeshifter. Like they can like turn into all kinds of different animals, different people. They can mimic voices.
My
The mimic
God.
voices part is why I'm bringing it up here, because like a lot of if you go online, you'll see a lot of videos of people who are like, I hear a skinwalker in the woods, and in their videos you can hear something very weird in the woods, and for the thing is, animals can make all kinds of strange sounds, and the coyotes, the sound they made that night, that was
It
pretty
was
wild.
so wild because it was a chorus of like,
Yeah,
I mean, it sounded like 20 coyotes. I don't know how many it was. It
yeah,
might have been 20, but it might have been less, but it certainly sounded like this giant group of them. And I don't
yeah,
know if they erupted into that noise because they had made a kill, like maybe one of them got a rabbit or something,
maybe. But it
or
was like they were out in like it was out in the darkness. We couldn't even see because this place was so secluded. Like it
it was
was
so dark. The
dark.
stars were gorgeous. It was this
Yeah,
black canvas of a night sky with
yeah.
bright, bright, bright stars.
Yeah, and full, and it wasn't like a half moon. It was more than a half moon, maybe almost full. But still, like you could barely see beyond,
Yeah.
the radius of the
Oh,
fire,
yeah.
and it was like, and from the darkness came that sound, and we were just like, what the hell is that?
Wow. That's actually not a bad title for a book. From the darkness came that sound. That's
Yeah,
pretty scary.
I'm trademarking that. Nobody better steal that.
Do it. Do it. I'm good with it. Yeah, you said it.
Okay,
But
so
yeah, it was so cool. And because, yeah, Karan and I, we were sitting by the fire. We were just laughing and like telling
yeah,
funny stories and
and,
stuff, how we do.
yeah,
And
drinking
then
whiskey, just
drinking
chilling.
whiskey, eating steak. Actually,
Yeah.
we bought really good steaks from well, I think it was from Whole Foods
Yeah, it was from
actually.
Whole Foods because you said something about how
Yeah,
grass-fed beef is where it's at, and I have
yeah,
to 100% agree with that.
yeah. It
It's
kind of
really,
really is.
you know,
I
yeah,
mean, it's too, it's expensive. I mean, but
yeah,
if you want to treat yourself, I would honestly, I would rather buy one of those steaks from Whole Foods and then make it myself than go to a steak restaurant and pay $70
yeah,
or $50 for a steak that honestly is not gonna be. Yeah, it's not gonna be that much better in my
no,
opinion. Maybe my
yeah,
palate is unrefined, but that's my opinion. So
yeah. I mean, what I'm trying to say, I think what Matt's trying to say is when you buy a steak like that, you don't need much to make it delicious. Like,
yeah, you kind of
some
don't.
salt and pepper, cook it as you like, and it's gonna be great. Yeah,
I think we also put some wild rosemary
yeah, I think
on our
so.
steaks that I had like picked because rosemary bushes grow all over the place in California,
Oh,
which
nice.
in Southern California, which I love. If I'm on a hike, sometimes I'll reach out and grab a handful of some rosemary from a bush in the near Malibu or wherever we go, and it's so nice to put it on a steak or something. It's not that often I eat steak, but when
Yeah.
I do, I prefer Dos Equis.
I was going to say you building into a Dos Equis commercial over
Yeah,
here.
those were great. But
Yeah.
yeah, so we heard those coyotes and it was like it stopped us in our tracks. We were just like we just shut up and listened and we were like, our mouths
Yeah.
just dropped open. We were
Like,
like
what
this
the
is
hell is that
wild.
thing?
This is
Yeah.
wild. It was a little scary, but
Yeah.
also, I mean, because they're, I mean, it's coyotes. It's not like timber
Yeah.
wolves, so they're not going to come and like, eat you or kill you, but
Yeah.
it's still, it's harrowing.
Yeah.
It's an eerie sound, but it was beautiful. It was awesome.
Yeah.
It's a great memory.
I don't know if you feel this way. Maybe I feel like I do because I didn't grow up in America, but I grew up watching a lot of shows about America. But like whenever I go out west, I feel like I'm still exploring a frontier. Like I feel like a pioneer almost because it's just such a wild landscape. It really makes me feel
Yeah.
so rebellious and so like adventurous when I
Wild.
go to when I go there because it's such a wild country.
Well, can you get that
Yeah,
in Canada though?
yeah, for sure. Like I mean, there are like parts of Vancouver and Vancouver Island when I go there, or even like when I drive a little bit north, like it gets so wild. And I mean, mountains and pine trees, that's a different kind of wild for sure. But um, I guess like with America, it's just like yeah, the whole Southwest, the geography of the whole Southwest has always really interested me. Um, like first time I went to the Grand Canyon, pretty much blew my socks off. I was just like,
Oh yeah.
what the hell is this place? Like this is insane. You
Yeah, I
know?
went there for the first time, believe it or not, like on my wife's last birthday. Like, I mean, it was August, so it was a little hot, but it was, I mean,
Yeah.
but she wanted to go to the Grand Canyon for her birthday, and man, it was impressive as hell. It
Yeah.
was great.
Yeah.
I was wow. The Grand Canyon, it was so expansive, so massive. Those valleys are so deep and huge. I had a great time. But yeah, so I don't know. I think I was telling something about us going to
Yeah.
the
Yeah. Sorry.
Idlewild over the weekend, but
Yes.
whatever. Anyway, I can't remember what I was gonna say. Uh,
That's my fault in this case, I
no,
think.
I don't know. I don't know whose fault it is, but it was a while ago. I don't know where I
Yeah.
was at, but yeah, we anyway, yeah. But Idlewild, it's a little mountain town up. It's
Mm.
yeah, it's near, yeah, because it's near Palm Springs,
Right. Yes.
where you and I went.
Right.
And
That's where
Curran, do you remember when we took the tram in Palm
Mhm.
Springs up to the
Yeah.
top
Yeah.
of the mountain?
Yes, I remember that
And it
tram.
changes into a whole different kind of climate and
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
biome, whatever. There's a little, we saw a little bit of snow on the ground, even though literally you're just a relatively short tram ride away from Palm Springs, where it was like, like 100 degrees or whatever. I mean, Palm Springs, it gets hot. I mean, it can
Yeah.
be 120 sometimes. It's so
Yeah.
hot. But anyway, so yeah, you take that tram right up out of the desert. It takes you up the mountainside. You get up to the top, and it's pine trees. It's a coniferous forest of pine trees, and sometimes you see snow, and super cool. But this town of Idlewild is a lot like that, where you and I went. It's it's just a little distance from Palm Springs, but it's basically in the mountains, and it's like pine forests. And we rented a sort of cabiny vibe hotel room, or at this inn. It was nice. Got to make a fire in the fireplace there. I love making fires. Collecting some wood for that, and they also gave us some wood as well. That was so yeah. We had a really fun time. So to tie it back, maybe that's why the last week or two I've sort of been buzzing with a weird happiness that I'm not completely used to. This energized feeling. Maybe it's because we took a little trip. I don't
Yeah.
really know. But like the other morning, I woke up at like 4 a.m. Which I never do, and I just could not go back to sleep. And I was like, why can't I sleep? And I was like, I feel excited. I feel driven. I don't know why. I feel happy or something. And and I couldn't go back to sleep. And I just like made my breakfast, and Freddie, my little dog, was like, what the fuck are you doing awake? Why are you awake, Dad? And my wife was kind of like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I think I'm fine. Just feel kind of happy, and I don't know why, but I'm awake. I'm excited to start my day and get to living. I don't know, yeah, but yeah, well, I'll milk it as long as I can.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, hey, it's great. The thing about going on trips is it does exactly that. It kind of like, I don't know, takes you out of your little existence, and it kind of reminds you that there's a lot more happening out there. My wife, me, and Zoe, we haven't really taken a trip for a long time, so we're actually planning on going on a trip soon.
Oh really?
So yeah,
Where are
yeah.
you gonna go?
We're gonna go to Mexico. Mexico.
Wait,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, yeah. By the way, if just
Mexico.
FYI people, if you're looking for a good vacation, keep checking all inclusive deals on Red Tag. because you can actually go to places in Mexico for quite cheap, especially during the off season, shoulder season, which is like semi not as busy, is between May and June. I think from June till October, it's a little hurricane season, so stay away. But then from December till about April, it's really busy because a lot of people from Canada go to Mexico to vacation
Oh,
because
they
it's cold
do?
here. Yeah, exactly.
Interesting.
So for us, it's right now May. We got a really good deal. It's all inclusive. Like we pay a flat price, and we go. You get your plane tickets, you get hotel accommodation, and you get all your food comped inside the hotel. Food and drinks comped outside the hotel. Like you know, yeah, exactly.
Whoa.
So for us, it was like music to our ears because we considered like going somewhere nearby, but just like, driving and going to the island. But then we are like, that's not really a vacation because it means we still have to make food for Zoe. We still got to do this. We still got to like, it's doing the same things we do at home, except somewhere else. But with something like this, like we don't have to worry about any of that. We just, enjoy yourself. So yeah. So I'm looking forward to it too, man, because for those exact
That's
reasons that you
awesome.
described, which is like, it's nice to just get away for some time and just refresh your mind a little bit.
That's really beautiful. I love that. I also actually feel like I don't know how we're doing on time. I lost track, but
You're okay. We got like 10 more minutes, so
okay,
no
because I
worries.
was gonna say that's kind of a nice, like, positive send off too. What you were just talking about.
Yeah,
It is so refreshing to go on a trip. It's amazing. You don't even realize how much it kind of
yeah,
shakes up your brain in a good way and
yeah,
gives you
yeah.
this, I don't know, peace or clarity that you don't even realize how much it'll hit you until you do it.
Right.
So yeah, that's awesome to hear. How long are you going to stay in Mexico?
So we're leaving next Friday, and we'll be back in a week. But so I'll be back on Thursday of the
Oh,
following
nice.
week. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's not for that long. It's like we're going for like 5 6 days, but it's perfect enough time to refresh and then come back. But it's more than anything, it's our first like kind of trip with Zoe. So we kind of like
Family vacation.
family vacation. Yeah,
Yeah.
I hope she likes it. Like I know kids and planes don't really mix well together, so yeah, really it's only a 4 hour trip. So I'm really hoping she like enjoys it as an adventure because I sure wouldn't mind going to more places. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I haven't traveled as like I've traveled, I know you might think, what do you mean you haven't traveled? Like I have traveled, come from like, the east out to the west, but I
Yeah.
haven't really explored much else of the world. So I'd
Huh.
really like to change that. Yeah.
Dude, I wish I could go to yeah, so you better have fun, Zoe. Let your dad travel. No.
Them's the rules.
I'm sure she'll have fun. I would love to. There's a few places on my bucket list, dude.
Okay.
I would love to go to Australia someday.
Oh yeah, same here.
You've never been there, right?
No, never been.
Yeah.
It's on my list to go to more than Australia, New Zealand, but yeah,
Oh,
Australia
wow.
too. Yeah.
What have you heard about New Zealand that piqued your interest or put it on your bucket list?
Well, just the end the nature of New Zealand. It seems really
Mm.
cool, like very unique, very different. Compared to like Australia is also has very unique things, but Australia does scare me a little bit. Just 'cause
Kind of like Florida.
kind of like Florida, yeah. Just because there are some crazy animals out there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's exactly what attracts me to
I know,
Australia.
I know. You would
No
probably love it
surprise.
because
Yeah.
they do have a lot of weird lizards and spiders and snakes out there.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yeah, so you're imagine like, oh yeah, baby.
Yeah. I want to get in that.
Matt
Yeah.
loves, by the way. I don't think you've ever told anybody on the show, but you love reptiles
Yeah.
and arachnids, right? Like
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, oh yeah. I mean, when we were in Palm Springs, a big highlight for me was that my wife spotted it. It's funny. My wife tends. She's better at spotting things. She has much better vision than me. She's got like 20/20 vision, and
she's
I'm kind of
she's
like.
paying attention to things.
She's I don't know how she does it, but she sees things before I do, but she points it out and I'm like, "Oh my god." And then I, go towards the light. But
Yeah.
she's spotted, I mean, for one thing, she saw a snake. And
Oh, cool.
yeah,
A rattlesnake?
no, unfortunately not.
That's
And
unfortunate.
most people wouldn't use the word unfortunately, but for me, that's a disappointment. But it was so great. She saw a snake, and she was like, "Matt, look, there's a snake there," and it was a gopher snake. Which,
Oh, okay.
if you just Google a gopher snake, it's just it's a nice snake, and I of course, I picked him up and caught him and stuff.
Of course.
But it's weird because I take that for granted, but other people are always like so aghast that I would grab a snake, and they're like, "What are you doing? Like, who is this guy?" And I'm like, "Look, it's this is a non-venomous snake. To me, it's
Right.
not a big
Yeah.
deal, and I've been doing it like my whole life,
Right.
catching snakes and stuff. But other people are amazed by it, and I don't understand it. But I guess
Yeah.
it's just something that most people just don't want to do or just don't do.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
And, it is, I think snakes feel weird. Like they don't feel like a cat. They don't feel like a dog. When you touch them, they're definitely like scaly. They're
Yeah.
slithery. So I think maybe that freaks people
Yeah,
out.
but they're not slimy. I want to
They're not
clarify that.
slimy. Right.
Yeah, they are not. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
they're dry feeling, smooth and dry, scaly.
Well, when we
Yeah.
were in Boston, Matt, bought a blood python.
Oh yeah.
And before I met her name was Priscilla. Before I met her,
You named her.
Oh yeah, I did name her.
Karan
'Cause-
named her Priscilla.
Yeah,
It was a great name.
yeah, I do.
Very
like that
fitting.
name. She was a very cool snake. Before I met her, I was like, oh my god, I don't want to be anywhere near snakes. But I was like, I just couldn't help myself knowing that there was a snake. And because we were living in Haskell Street, we were living in
Yep.
where it was like literally like a floor with 4 different separate rooms, and there was somebody in each room. And you were in your room, I was in my room, and I remember you told me that you were going to get a snake, and I was like, man, I can't believe there's a snake in the house. I have to go check it out, even though I'm freaked out by it. But and I went and I checked it out, and you were like, "Here, do you want to hold her?" I was like, I was like, "Okay, come on, you can do this." And I remember the first time I held her, I was like, "Oh my god, this is not what I was expecting a snake to feel like."
Yeah.
So yeah,
How was it for you?
it was very interesting. Like I was like, once I held her, I was like, this is actually really cool. Like they are such cool animals because she was calm and she wasn't like freaking out, slithering, like going crazy.
No,
She
very
was just
slow
like exploring.
moving.
Yeah,
Slow moving. Yeah.
it's like holding a really, really big muscle.
Yes.
And like
Especially
you can
because she was especially because she's a
python.
constrictor, a python. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you could just, even though she wasn't that big, but even at that, she was young too.
Yep.
And even at that age, you could tell she was powerful. Like
yeah.
she was able, like I remember I would be holding with her with 2 hands, and then just on purpose, I would like let go a little bit with one hand, and then she would compensate by gripping tighter on the other hand.
That's right.
And
She would always do that.
yeah, and her grip was, I was like, oh my goodness, this is
Yeah.
a one tight grip, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. I gravitate somewhat towards dangerous animals. I don't know why. I guess I'm just amazed by them, but it's I mean, like, it's funny because I had quite a menagerie in our basement as a kid growing up, because on the East Coast, people have basements.
Right.
Like
Yes.
everybody has a basement, whereas on the West Coast in Los Angeles, where I live now, nobody has a basement
Right.
because they're worried about earthquakes, for one thing, collapsing in on them. And then I don't know why else. I guess there's other reasons too. But people don't have basements here. But on the East Coast, everybody does. And in our basement, I had a menagerie of reptiles, amphibians, some turtles, frogs, snakes, lizards. Quite a few. I was like a little zookeeper down there or whatever. And I was so into reptiles and stuff then, and I used to, there was always some new acquisition I was arguing with my parents about, of what I was allowed to get. I had figured out a way that I could acquire a venomous snake, and I wanted to get an eyelash viper, and I would read about people who had them, and I was like, I know it can be done. People have these, and I wanted one so bad because you can. What's really fun about having a tropical reptile is that you can really spend time setting up their aquarium or terrarium to be beautifully like plants, mimic their natural environment of like the Amazon or whatever. You can have beautiful ornate plants in there, and I just loved all the research behind setting up their living situation. And I was like, Dad, why can't I? And he's like, Matt, this is a venomous snake. Like you can't have it. So I just could not. I mean, I didn't give up easy. I'm sure it wasn't exactly a cakewalk dealing with me all the time. But when I got my sights set on a certain reptile I wanted, it was tough to dissuade me. But looking back in hindsight, as an adult looking back, I'm like, of course my dad wouldn't let me get a venomous snake. What? Why did I?
My dad didn't.
Yeah, no, Dad. What made my 17-year-old brain think that was in any way a good idea? It's pretty funny. Yeah. I totally agree with my dad's decision, by the way. It was a good decision.
It was a good, mature decision.
It was a great decision.
You were lucky he was there at the time.
Oh, yeah.
To stop you.
I have 2 hands today, and that's thanks to my dad.
Yeah. I would like, if you, for example, I will say this, if in college you had gotten a venomous snake instead of Priscilla,
yeah.
Instead of a blood python, I would definitely be worried. I would probably have moved out because... venomous snakes do scare me because, because there were times when Priscilla did get out of her tank.
There was once,
was it strong?
Yeah, it was at least once, yeah.
It was at least once. And like when she got out, it didn't worry me because I knew she wouldn't like sneak up and try to like strangle me. Like I would be able to see her coming. But with like a venomous snake, like you have no idea where they're hiding, where they can strike. Like like
be able to see her coming makes it sound like you're friggin' camping in the friggin' Amazon or something. Indonesia jungle.
I know. Meanwhile, I'm in like an apartment, like in metropolitan Boston. Yeah, like
trying to study for an exam, and you're like, I gotta keep my machete by my side in case that blood python comes for me in the night.
Comes along. Or that tank that we call Raymond, who like is just like
we didn't even touch on Raymond.
He's just like brooding.
My snapping turtle.
We need a whole episode for Raymond.
I know.
We need a whole I declare next episode to be Raymond episode.
We could totally do that.
He is he deserves at least 30 minutes of podcasting.
What a gem!
What a jibber jabber!
What a guy he was. That was my pet snapping turtle. We'll have to talk about him. He was another ball game. Yeah. Very different kind of energy from Priscilla, I would say.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like Raymond was something else.
One thing he shared in common with Priscilla, he did escape at least once.
Yeah. He almost got away, and you whomped him with a pillow.
I did. I literally did, and thank you for reminding me. I forgot about that. And it's so funny. Literally, it was springtime, and I know we're gonna talk about him another episode, but it was freaking terrifying, dude. And by the way, as we tell these stories about my reptiles and stuff, it makes me sound like, I don't know if you've seen the movie Jumanji.
Oh no! Long time ago, I don't remember it.
Yeah, there's like this British in the movie Jumanji. They summon up these, I don't know, like animals from exotic animals from this board game. That's like the premise. Right. The kids playing the board game don't realize it's real, and it summons these, like, so there'll be like depending how they roll the dice, there might be a herd of wild elephants that appear suddenly in their urban town, their suburban town, and suddenly elephants are trampling cars and people. And then at one point they roll the dice, and this British evil British explorer from like the 1800s appears, this guy with this giant mustache, and he's got like, he's dressed like one of those British explorer hunters who would like travel to other countries like India or Africa to like hunt for wild game, in the 1800s, and would have like one of these old-fashioned like elephant rifles.
Right.
And this guy is like wandering around in their suburban town, like shooting at stuff with this huge elephant rifle. And he's got that like that classic dome-shaped tan color British explorer cap on and stuff. And we tell these stories. It makes me sound like I'm that guy, like in the jungle, like just amidst it just sounds like Jumanji, basically.
Yeah.
My apartment sounds like Jumanji. But
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, like I woke up one morning and my snapping turtle Raymond, who we'll talk more about another time. Raymond was a good size. He was probably 15 or 20 pounds. He was freaking heavy, to be honest. And he grew really fast. And so anyway, I woke up one morning and it was in like the springtime, and somehow his internal clock, I think, was telling him that it was like time to get out into the world and do stuff, or like, basically go and find a mate or something. I think he somehow, because he would get really riled up around springtime. I eventually released him back into the wild in Maryland, and I'm sure he did great. Probably ate every living thing within sight. But anyway, I woke up one morning in my apartment on Haskell Street, and Raymond was halfway out of his tank, and he had pushed the whole lid and lighting apparatus off of the to the side, and was clawing very loudly with his big giant claws. He had these big feet with these big claws for digging and for shredding his prey and everything. And he was just clawing and clamoring really loudly. He was a big dude. And I woke up with a start, and I swear to God, like I was disoriented, and I just see this Tyrannosaurus Rex, like this huge. He was, again, like breaching up out of his tank, clawing at the sides of it, trying to get out, and he was halfway out, and it scared the shit out of me. And in my just woken up stupor, my half asleep stupor, my instinct told me, I followed my instinct. I just jumped out of bed with my pillow and swung it at him and knocked him back into the water. And I mean, smacking him with a pillow did absolutely nothing. I mean, that guy was built like a freaking World War II tank.
Yeah.
I just smacked him with the pillow. But yeah, so knocked him back into his tank. It was wild over there. I remember one of the other tenants in our apartment, in the house we were renting rooms in, one of the other tenants, it was Musa. One of the other tenants, it was either Musa or Laith. They must have complained to Charles, our landlord, about the rats in the freezer, because I would buy.
Right.
I didn't normally feed her live rats. I would
You mean
buy
Priscilla, right?
Priscilla. Yeah, my snake. I didn't feed her live rats. I would buy frozen rats. Because there's no need to torment a rat if you don't have to. So I would buy these frozen ones and then, thaw them out and give it to her. It was just as good. But I would keep them in the freezer. And, I mean, to be honest, again, in hindsight, I don't blame whoever tattled on me. I don't blame them for these poor kids who had come to Boston from like Saudi Arabia or wherever they were from to study, and this American kid sharing the space with them is putting frozen rats in the freezer. I mean, they must have just been like, what is happening? So I don't blame them for being concerned about the sanitation of their
right.
Yeah, but anyway, somebody told Charles, and Charles was like, you can't do this. Yeah, you can't keep rats in there. I don't remember what I did, but to be honest, I think I just kept doing it.
Yeah,
but I don't know for sure. I don't remember, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you go when you have pets, you got to feed them somehow.
Yeah.
So you don't have a bag of dog food. Instead, you got frozen rats in the freezer.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm sure any reptile hobbyist would, you know, wouldn't would
Take
would
my
would,
side.
would take your side on it. Yeah, because you're like, hey, it's better than giving
Oh
them.
yeah. I mean those guys ate better than me. Like I fed them better than myself, to be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah. I remember they Raymond.
Oh
By the
my
time you let him
god.
go, he was a giant. Like he
Dude.
was so much bigger
Oh
than
yeah.
than when you like. Yeah,
Oh yeah. In like 2 years he at least tripled in size.
right.
Maybe quadruple. Yeah. He grew
Yeah,
so fast.
yeah.
I fed him really well.
He was a yeah. But we'll talk about
We'll
him some
talk
other
about him
time. We'll
more.
talk about him.
Yeah.
Um.
But real quick, just to give us a good send off, I wanted
Yeah.
to real quick just mention a song of the day, and
Okay.
we don't have time to go into it, but I'll just say it, which I think is enough. I revisited the Doors recently, the band The
Oh,
Doors.
nice.
Yeah, and my song of the day is "Riders on the Storm."
Oh, amazing. What a great song that is.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard it for the first time in a long time recently.
Yeah.
It's a great song to listen to, especially when you're in your car
Oh
just
yeah.
driving. Man, it was like, okay, yeah, it is. I do love this that much. Like
Yeah.
I do love this. This is exactly what I love. And so Snoop Dogg has
Cover of it. Yeah.
oh,
That's
you knew
right.
that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's called like Snoop Dogg feat The Doors, and
Yeah.
it's like a Riders on the Storm type
Yeah.
song,
Yeah.
rap song.
I definitely really enjoy that song. It's one of those songs that it's the intro that I love the most actually because it comes in so cool. I feel like that song should needs its own podcast episode too. But
Yeah,
yeah,
really,
I love that. I love that song. That one and The End by The Doors are two songs that
yep,
almost like take me to like a different place in my head.
100%.
And I always love songs that do that. So
Me too,
yeah, yeah.
me
But
too.
I would like to talk more about that song for sure. It's one of
Yeah,
my favorite songs, Riders on the Storm.
we
Good pick.
should.
Good pick indeed.
Curran, thank you. Curran and I, we've always shared a lot in common when it comes to music that we
Yeah.
can kind of get behind and appreciate. We really do. It's always been great on that front. But
Yeah.
anyway, so that's my song of the day. But then yeah, so that's about it. But is there anything else you'd like to say to send everyone off on a positive note into their week to come?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think what we touched on earlier, which is like if you have a chance, take a trip somewhere, or it doesn't even have to be that far if things are tight right now, like you can't spend too much. Just
Yeah,
take a day and go outside and do something, or go somewhere that you haven't been to in a while. You'll do your brain a huge favor. You'll do your psyche and your spirit a big favor by just stepping
yeah.
out of yourself a little bit. Yeah,
Yeah, it's so
that's
true.
I think that's
When
it.
you get you're so right. When you get your spirit, when you get your spirit and your brain in the right place, there is no limit to how much more everything else, all those other problems that we
Yeah,
obsess over, will just somehow naturally seem to fall into line
right. Yeah,
when you are coming from a place where you're more at peace internally.
yeah.
It's really amazing. So yeah, great advice. Thank you, Karan. And yeah, I guess that's about it for us for now.
Oh, oh, sorry.
It's still going. What's happening? Oh,
Oh, that's weird. I was trying to play a
wow.
different one. I don't
Oh,
know.
that was kind of funny though. I like
Yeah,
it.
there we go. I
Oh,
was I
nice.
was I was trying to play this one because if you play the other one, you're just gonna get
Dun,
into a
dun,
new
dun,
episode
dun,
because
dun,
it's just
dun.
it's just gonna get you
Yeah.
riled up and ready to talk about more things.
Yeah, it pretty much did. I have like 10 more ideas right
Yeah,
now.
more things to talk about. I think our problem might be we have
Oh
too
yeah.
much to talk about, not too little.
Oh God, yeah, that's the huge problem. I mean, dude, I had a little agenda ready to go for this episode, and let me tell
Yeah.
you, I hit almost none of the things I thought I was gonna say. So I don't know how one accomplishes
No,
that, but
so,
I'm trying to get there.
yeah. Well, I hope you all stick around because yeah, as you said, we have lots to talk about. That's for us for this week.
Yep.
And we'll see you all next time.
See you
You
all
guys,
next time for the next one will be episode 22. This will be 21. The next one's 22. So we'll see you next time.
22. Yeah, so our podcast can legally drink in the US right now.
Yeah, yeah, and we'll keep it on the down low if ever we did before.
Yeah.
With those beer drinkers in Vancouver
Yeah.
getting
Look
yelled
out for
at.
those guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye,
Okay. All right.
everybody.
Bye, everybody. Have a great week.